Within the grant, there are a number of activities that go on. First off is we plan our data collection mission, and we have several of these a year, usually 5 or 6 at least. And we go out and we try and collect water samples, at least 30 water samples, at the same time, or as close as we can come to the same time of a Landsat overpass. Now, why do we need that? Well, because think of it, water moves. Wind blows it, you've got currents in the water. Those two things can make the water that you're looking at now be somewhere off there later. For example, you can calculate this, but a 1 mile per hour drift, which is a very slow drift, right? 1 mile an hour, it's about 1 knot, will move a pixel 1 pixel away, 30 meters. 30 meters is the pixel size we're dealing with in Landsat. It will move 1 pixel away in 60 seconds, or in a minute. And in an hour, it'll move 60 pixels away, or 1.8 kilometers. Now, we can't put up with too much of that. So we're trying to collect our data. At first, I did rough calculations on the back of an envelope, and I imposed within plus or minus 1.5 hours of overpass. So we'd start the data collection about an hour and a half before overpass, and we'd go out in one line and take them about every mile spacing. Then we move over a mile or two, and then come back and collect them every mile. 15 going, 15 coming. And so these were all spaced out at least about a mile apart. Okay. Well, we would do it, so we start an hour and a half before, and then it would overpass about when we were switching over to the other line, and it'd be an hour and a half back. And we tested our data, and it did pretty well. Then we tested it we confined it to just plus or minus an hour of overpass. We did a little better. And then we did it plus or minus 30 minutes of overpass, all from the same data set, but we're using fewer and fewer points. And we found out that our R-squared adjusted and our statistics and our standard error went down, R-squared adjusted went up, our statistics were much better if we confined it to within something like 30 minutes of Landsat overpass. So now, this year, when we're collecting data, we're not renting one boat, we're renting 2 boats and putting 2 teams of people out there, and we're collecting all of the data within about an hour, which is plus or minus 30 minutes from overpass, because we start about 30 minutes before the overpass time and perform it. This is all involved with data collection. And believe me, we've made a lot of progress in how to collect this data and how it has to be timed, and it improves our results. A lot of other people that are in this work have actually been using data from other days, much less within 30 minutes of overpass.